Hey, hello, everyone. So, after not being able to stream last week due to depth charge hijacking my channel, yeah, I'm back. Hello. And I can finally play the game I actually wanted to play like a few weeks ago, but I came down with something, so I wasn't able to. So, yeah. Also, not the verbs. Ah, but yeah, we're playing 60 seconds Reatomized today. After, like I said, I was unable to a few weeks back. Okay, let me just bring it up and yeah, turn the audio back on. It should be fine. I mean, there's no music on the title screen right now because the song finished earlier. So yeah, but that sounds if I move over things. So for those unfamiliar, 60 seconds is a game in which if, well, as the title suggests, 60 seconds to find stuff into your house to throw into your shelter before a bomb drops and destroys everything. There's no day, normal neighborhood at a normal house. Basically, yes. And basically, after those 60 seconds are over and you're safe inside of your shelter, that's when you have to go and survive until help arrives. This is harder than it sounds like, trust me. No pizza on the roof sometimes. Sometimes a pizza appears on the roof over here as a reference to Breaking Bad. Anyway, let's start the game. We'll just go for the typical apocalypse mode. Atomic Duel is a tutorial. Challenge is a challenge mode where you have special challenges. Scavenge is just the scavenger part, and survival is just the survival part. So, yeah. I close to beating Dragon Quest monsters, Dark Prince, and I have a spiky dolphin like monster. Interesting. And we just played normal Apocalypse mode. Play that first. You can also play also as a wife of Dolores, which I usually prefer to do because he's a bit faster in the scavenging phase, I guess. And I've played in a while, so I'll just start with the easiest difficulty. Also, yes, the difficulties are all named after real bombs. Anyway, let's get to it. Okay, so on each difficulty, we get 20 seconds to have a bit of a look around, see if there's anything we'd like to grab. Okay. Wife and son are here. Also, daughter's playing the tuba somewhere. Ah, there she is. Okay, I'm going to be grabbing the medkit first, so I guess I'll wait here. And we're off. Okay, you can also move a bit faster now that the timer has properly started. So now we have 60 seconds to basically grab as much as we can. Okay, grab the radio. And let's grab the wife. And okay, extra bottle, I guess. Okay, and also, of course, the more people we have in your shelter, the more mouths you have to feed while you're trying to survive. Obviously. Okay, I guess we'll get our daughter as well, because there's something really good about a daughter, which can, but can also not. Depends on luck. It can come into play, and maybe we'll see it, maybe we won't. But I hope we'll get to see it, because it's pretty interesting. Okay, and I guess... Oh, the gas mask. Grab the gas mask. Okay. And that's the 60 seconds. Let's hope this was enough. Because now we actually have to survive down here. Also, I got an achievement for collecting 10 water bottles from my house. Also, I got the achievement Family Guy for rescuing the whole family. So yeah, we're in. So what are we dealing with? Gas masks. Yeah, gas masks are kind of hot, yeah. Okay, 5 bottles of water, 6 cans of soup. Not bad. So a general rule is give everyone food and water like every 5 days and you should be good. In fact, we also got some extra things because we started playing on the easy difficulty. Anyway, almost made it into the shelter just a second before the bus. That was a close one. As long as we're all together, we can make it down here. Remember hearing canned soup is very healthy for you. We vaguely remember stashing something in the shelter because there was no room for them upstairs. So being messy can really work in your favor. Nice. Our shelves are full of cans. We'll eat from cans, we'll sleep with cans, we'll even talk to cans. In fact, some of us already do. Okay, great. So we just got into the shelter and we're already going a little bit nuts. Because yeah, we are totally able to go completely insane down here. From the beginning stir crazy and such. And we can get sick, we can get hurt. So yeah, we have to manage all of that. Plenty of water means we don't have to worry about that for some time. This is the best stock shelter we've ever seen. We've never seen another one, so I'm sure this is a good amount of supplies. The writing in this is also really comedic. 1 minute it was all fine, and the next we were at each other's throats. How did this happen? This is insane. We need to get a grip on ourselves if we are going to survive this. Let's just sleep on it. And we're not even in the shelter for a day, and we're already arguing. These next few days are going to be great. What would happen if you forgot your family in this game? If you forget any of your family members, you go insane literally the next day. And insane family members will eventually just leave the shelter because they're going too crazy. And they'll also end up destroying things. It's also the one thing you cannot get rid of with the medkit. Anyway, day 2, nothing seems to have happened except Ted is growing a bit of a beard because he visibly ages, as does everyone. We stopped arguing, but for how long? Ted seems to be doing alright, even though they also got this crappy place. I like how he tries not to swear because these kids are with him. Now Jade says he's fine, doesn't need anything, everything seems to be okay with Dolores. Like the good scout he is, Timmy is making the best out of the situation, he seems very cheerful. Yeah. Okay, so here's the deal, right? Every day we get asked if we want to prepare for an expedition the next day, and that's how we are going to get supplies going forward. So, you can send someone out with supplies. It's recommended to bring the gas mask this early on, because there's still contamination from radiation in the town and such. And they can, or can't, find things. They can get sick on the way, they can get hurt, they might not even come back. And, of course, there's always the risk you'll get followed. Anyway, let's prepare for an expedition. We're sending Timmy out tomorrow. What was that, a rat? Rats are usually smaller than cats. What with a double tail? We can't let a thing get to our supplies. Also, yeah, this happens occasionally. Sometimes events will happen which will either require a yes or no answer or an item. And there's also unique ones centered around family members. Anyway, let's use the axe and deal with the rat. I mean, it's probably a rat. Has anything changed? Our cannons are safe. Too bad for the Iron Mutant. The can are still on the top of the food chain. Good for us. Okay, now because we're sending Timmy out, I'm going to give him some food and water. Although I think those needs are paused while they are out, so I won't really have to. Okay. We'll be sending Timmy out. He seems to be pretty good at scavenging from my past experiences playing this game. I will give him the gas mask. Okay, day 4. So Timmy's outside. He's hopefully going to come back with supplies. Timmy went out to the wasteland. We don't know what we'll do if he doesn't come back. And he brought the gas mask with him. Okay, we can go 1 more day without food and water. Okay, Mary Jane didn't utter a single word today. This is very odd. Maybe someone should find out what's going on with her. Yeah, sure, let's talk to our teenage daughter. Now, whether something does something good or something bad kind of depends on the luck of the draw, really. Like, I think it's possible for her to go nuts if you try to talk to her at this point. Nothing's also probably better than an honest conversation over a hot beverage. You don't have the letter, but talking alone seems to do the trick. Okay, and now we're going to have to give everyone food and water. Now you can last longer without food, but it's easier to keep track if you, you know, do food every 5 days, just like lunch and water. Felt like someone was staring at us from the corner of the shelter. We think it's a rat, at least looked like a rat. A rat on a very good diet. We decided we need to do something about it, or to put it more bluntly, it's either him or us. Okay, I guess we'll be using the axe again. I think this is a different food event, which can actually... I mean, different rat events can give you food, and I'm not sure. No. Whatever it was is dead now, quite dead. Maybe there's more hiding somewhere in one of those nasty little holes. Okay, we're good on food and water. Boredom and silence overwhelm me. Too bad we don't have a TV to keep us occupied. Maybe we could take advantage of some of the supplies and pretend they're props in the movie set. I'm not sure what you could be using the axe for, but okay. So what's it going to do? Well, the axe seems fine. That Mary Jane used to be big sin and bust for the apocalypse, so they instantly jumped on this idea. Mary Jane always complained singing in the rain lacks action, so they took the axe and improvised an extra scene. Okay. This is all fine. They insist the movie would have been way better if it had more access. Oh boy. Yeah, that's a question that needs to be asked. Okay, so what's next? Spiders seem to be operating on the assumption that they have all the same rights to this shelter as we do. They're everywhere and don't seem very scared of us. It's time we change that. We don't want any more spiders in our soup, no sir. Is Timmy coming back? Hopefully, if he doesn't come back, we will know. Okay, so you might think it's a good idea to like use one of these items to get rid of the spiders. Well, no, actually, there's a chance a radioactive spider could bite Mary Jane, and that'll bring the thing into play which I talked about. So I'm going to leave the spiders alone for now. Are we lucky? No. Okay, so there's a chance you mutate and that you become the most powerful character in the game. Besides, we could get rid of the spider with our bare hands, feet, or whatever other body parts we could use for our lethal anti-spider attacks. Unfortunately, we've underestimated the chances. They're really fast. Oh, it was getting tired. Maybe we'll have more luck next time. Okay, anyway, hear that? Noise is coming from below. It's probably the right time to check out the manhole in the corner, the one that's been locked tight ever since we got to the shelter. Okay, I think someone can get hurt regardless of which item you use here. But if you don't do anything, someone could go crazy, so... You know what, we've been lucky with the axe so far. Let's use the axe again. Oh, I think Timmy's back. Yep, he is. I mean, he's incredibly tired because he's been outside. And he even brought the gas mask back. What the hell, we barely made out alive. We've got a giant mutated crocodile or an alligator, or something else with a giant mouth and plenty of teeth. Is anyone hurt? We're so afraid for Timmy, but he came back from the wasteland and is safe with us now. Who would have thought the wood of friendship could be so durable? In the ruins of one of the town's buildings, we saw a desk and several bookshelves. We soon realized these are the remains of the public library, so we went between the rubble to investigate. So I see we got a gun to water. The head librarian was a shy and quiet local girl with a weird passion for firearms. Finding a loaded rifle at that short table wasn't a big surprise to us. I guess they set in America then. Under the debris we found some water bottles. They're a bit dusty, but the liquid inside looks clean enough. This last expedition got us thinking. Maybe we could just drive away from this nightmare somehow? Of course, most of the automobiles available are completely burned out, but if we find a solid base that carries enough parts, perhaps we could build a vehicle of our own. We'd better keep an eye out for those on our future expeditions. Okay, yeah, this is a thing out of Reatomized. It's actually possible to find a vehicle and, yeah, escape like that. Wait, what happened to... Why does she need to... Oh, Mary Jane is hurt, that's what's going on. Yeah, I don't want to waste a medkit yet, though. Well, we could prepare for another expedition, but I guess we should wait. Ring ring, there we were, thinking we'd never hear a telephone signal again, when suddenly a phone starts ringing from somewhere outside. I think it's a phone booth across the street, so should someone go answer it? Yeah, I suppose it's under the doors. This is always safe, it's just a buff to an ending. Yeah, when we answered the phone, we could clearly hear a gasp of relief from the caller. They introduced themselves as survivors from a nearby town of Hill Valley. We started exchanging information when the call was cut short. Something must have gone wrong on their side. We hope they get back to us. Okay, anyway. At this point we should start feeding them all. Okay, so the reason I'm saving the medkit for now is because we can actually get something really good if we keep the medkit around if we're lucky. Now, right now she's just hurt. When this changes to agony, that's when she's at the risk of dying. Oh, well, I say dying, but really the only ones in this game who can actually die are Ted and Dolores. The kids will just run away. For obvious reasons. It looks like the area is still radiated. Going to wasteland right now is unsafe unless you don't mind getting sick. We're going to need more supplies sooner or later. I think it's time we start packing up. We're admiring the radioactive landscape when we saw a young woman dressed in ragged camo clothing. She had a nasty looking rifle, but she held us in a polite enough manner. She scares to be a hunter tracking a big mutated spider. She ran out of ammo and told us that if we were to help her out, she would pay us back in a while. Unfortunately, we don't have the ammo, so we'll have to turn her down. Oh well. Also, something else I should mention. If both adults die, then the game automatically ends. You can't survive with just the kids. Now, a person who murders things for a living, or giant mutated spiders in our neighborhood. We don't want to have anything to do with this stuff. Goodbye, lady. Interim Mary Jane has may take a while to heal. Yes, the game will keep reminding you of it. Okay, this is a good day to go outside. Stretch a bit, get some fresh stock together, maybe scavenge a thing or two. You could use some extra supplies, that if we want to survive. Okay, now Timmy is still too tired to be sent out. Mary Jane is hurt, so she has an increased risk of not coming back. I think I'm going to send out Ted with the gas mask for now. Because Dolores is the most immune to going crazy. So I want her to keep her around at least. Okay then, what's happening now? Okay, Mary Jane is still hurt, but nothing more than that. That left for the service. We hope you come back soon. It's high time we stopped wondering about what's going on and started asking questions, or at least listen to some reasonable answers. So how about tuning to a radio station and learning a thing or two about the brave new world? You know what? That sounds like a good idea. It'd be good to know what's going on outside. We're able to get a weak signal and tap into government's emergency announcement service. And guess what? Great news! The fallout outside has mostly gone. It should be much safer to travel on servers now. Okay, so now we're in the second phase of the game where the radiation is mostly gone, and at this point it's safer to go outside without a gas mask and you won't risk getting sick. My Jane's hurt, but I've done anything to make it better. Yes, I know, game. She's still currently hurt. Nothing worse than that. So once it gets worse, then I'll probably use the medkit. As long as we have food and water, we can stay locked in, but we have to leave eventually. It would be good to head straight to safety instead of getting ourselves into more trouble if it's even possible in this situation. Big ask, really. Our hope is that our brave soldiers will come to rescue us and take us to some well-hidden and well-stocked government shelter. Timmy had comics about those, you know, they must exist. All we need to do is make contact with the military. Well, let's tune in with our radio then. Well, that sounds promising, it's not Morse code. Okay. So, what has happened then? We made contact, the military is out there and they're coming for us. All we need to do now is wait patiently. The soldier with the boring voice was very specific about this. Help is on the way. We just need to wait further instructions to keep our radio in working order. Yeah, that's the thing, if the radio breaks then you won't be able to receive broadcasts from the military. Okay. Yeah, the text regarding Mary Jane's injuries is getting more alive. Yeah, now it's at agony. Okay, now I'm going to use the medkit. And we'll just have to hope we'll get a new one. The last time we went out on an expedition, we noticed an abandoned tank just sitting there out in the open. It looks damaged, but it may contain useful supplies. Shall we send someone to investigate? Okay. So. This event. Okay, so there is a chance you will indeed find supplies in the tank, but it could also just be nothing. However, there's a chance the tank will just explode because of the booby traps and you'll lose the family member. Oh boy. Okay, I'm going to do something drastic. I'm going to wait one more day with giving Mary Jane the medkit, and if she comes back, I'm going to give it to her. I know I'm playing really strategically, and yeah. Oh. Oh dear. Oh boy. Okay then. The last thing we expected was a giant explosion. We could hear the debris falling from the sky and hitting the sad remains of our house. The tank was a bit booby-trapped to contain volatile explosives. Why did we do it? Why? Oh boy, Mary Jane is not coming back. Okay, well at least I did save the medkit, but it also means there's no way we can get muted the Mary Jane now. Oh boy. Right, next time if the event ever comes up again, I'm not going to send someone out. Was that going in your pocket, Timmy? Oh no, mutated ants! They're terrifying little mandibles almost give Dolores a heart attack. She wants them out, but Timmy says it's the beginning of an atomic ant farm. One of the best to have it that way, but who? Oh boy. Dolores wants the ants gone, but Timmy wants them to have them. Okay, what do? Do we give Timmy his ant farm or? Oh boy. I mean, you can also just skip and they'll just be left arguing about it, but that comes with other risks. You know what? Timmy just lost his sister. He doesn't have to lose his ants. Also, I think that's back. Yeah, he's back. I mean, he's tired, of course. And he damaged the gas mask. Wonderful. Tim was allowed to keep his atomic ant farm to the detriment of our supply stash. The little mutant scavengers devoured a whole can of soup and escaped under the cover of night. Relief, they could have eaten us instead. But we lost some soup. Oh boy. Anyway, Ted's back. It turned out that calling an ambulance is not an option anymore. We reached the hospital. It's in ruins, but parts of it turned out to be still standing. More or less. Decided to go through the rubble and make the best of it. The canteen had a respectable supply of tomato soup. Looks like this was the only thing they fed their patients. Now we're 100% sure it's healthy. Yeah, running gag is literally the only food you'll find is also tomato soup. So yeah. There are plenty of bottles of liquid in one of the wards. Peroxide or not, water is water and beggars can't be choosers. Damn it, our gas mask was damaged during the expedition. We waited at nearby parking lots for a vehicle that was completely burnt out. Unfortunately, we found nothing of value. Maybe future expeditions will be more lucky. Anyway, Ted is hungry, and he might be thirsty, so let's give him some of that. Okay, I'm not going to prepare for an expedition just yet, and open in the name of freedom, came a shout from outside the door. We weren't sure who claimed to be representing freedom, but we could hear there was a group of people, probably armed. Anyone who introduces themselves like that is probably planning to kill someone in the name of freedom. She'll be open. If I recall correctly, this event is always safe to say yes to, because this is a reference to Red Dawn, which is a movie I've not watched, but I read it's a reference to that. Now we got a gun. Nice. We regretted opening the door the minute we saw we were standing on the other side. Dark faces, rifles, and determined looks of a band of teenagers. We're doomed, we thought. Then, out of the blue, one of them asked us if we were the Reds. We never supported the Red Sox, so we confidently said that we weren't. The tension dropped immediately, and those nice young people gave us 2 bottles of water. They also told us to have no fear since the Wolverines are around. Not sure what Wolverines have to do with all this, but we took their word for it. I thought we got the gun. Oh no, the gun was from the library, never mind. Okay, a group of doctors knocked on our door today requesting some supplies that would be helpful in refilling their first aid kits. We didn't doubt they were the real deal for a second. They did have lab coats and everything. Shall we help them? How much water do we have now? 8.5 bottles. I think we can spare some, yeah. I think what goes around comes around with these guys. So if you help them, they can come back and like heal everyone later or something. Bottle of relatively clean water is the closest we will ever get to hydrogen peroxide. I guess we're grateful anyway. Also, I think we pretty much got a lot of extra bottles from, you know, the local hospital anyway, so yeah. Yeah, day 18, so we should still be fine. A stranger pushing a rusty wheelbarrow filled with all kinds of goods stopped by today. He claims he's a trader looking to barter for items he requires. We do have the checkers and we have the cards. I guess we can sacrifice the cards for... Actually, no. I think you also need the cards for a military event, so I kind of... You know what? No. I'm keeping them. For now. Timmy is healthy enough to go out again. Should we need it. Refused trade. Hopefully we made the right choice, but the trader was not too happy about this. Okay, we should be good for one more day. We were paid a visit today by a young man worried about his twin sister who went missing in a bandit camp not long ago. We're acting as a spy and trying to get our hands on the plans of the new bandit fortress. He seemed to trust us fully and is very friendly, but obviously concerned. He asks that we come to his aid in his hour of need, and really good things might happen to us if we manage to succeed. Okay, Dolores, it's your turn to do something this time. That sounded like a gunshot, okay. Okay, now's the time we should give everyone food and water. The young man was assisted by a group of other survivors, all armed but really friendly, who found the girl, threw her weapon, and followed the bandits guarding the exit. Simmons were happy to be reunited, but also very confused. Turns out the bandit leader is actually their father. Crazy small world we live in. Anyway, they were really thankful, promised to contact us again soon. Oh, by the way, this is a Star Wars reference, because it's also possible the sister is the one coming to the shelter, you have to save the brother, and then it turns out the brother has lost his arm, kind of like Luke Skywalker in that one movie. Okay, anyway, let's get everyone some food and water, and we are starting to run out of too. So I guess it's time to prepare for an expedition. Being safe down here is much better than being pulverized out there, but that doesn't mean we don't want to go outside. Maybe we could take a walk soon. The neighborhood is probably much more peaceful since the bombings. Oh, you'll be surprised. If talk about the big mutated spiders is anything to go by, we can take care of ourselves. Is that all you had to say? Okay then. Anyway, Timmy should be good to go again, so... Oh no, that's not Timmy, this is Timmy. Okay, he doesn't need the gas mask anymore, well, first of all it's broken, but also there's no radiation outside anymore, so... Yeah. Let's see if we find something. Hopefully he comes back. If there was anything to report about Dolores, this is why it would have been red. Damn, getting sassy in here. Our situation is getting worse every day. We can see the hunger and desperation in each other's eyes. We know a teacher from Red Mary Jane. Yeah, that was unfortunate. I had hoped that wasn't going to happen, but yeah, there is a chance that if you try to do something, it'll just go wrong. Anyway, we know a teacher from a local school rescued a bunch of kids when the bomb fell. They also know what kind of supplies are in the school shelter. As part of the community, we help stock it for an emergency, so technically they are ours rights. We reclaim them in our hour of need. So yeah, sometimes you just get the option to raid someone else in the wasteland. If you do this, you'll be locked out of getting saved by the twins, and everyone will take a massive hit to their sanity, but there's also a chance we'll get a lot of supplies. I'm going to say no, because we are pretty well on our way to get rescued by the twins. As you can see. So no, we won't. Also rejected this boost everyone's sanity a bit. Are we innocent people? Absolutely not. We are not savages, we cannot stoop that low. It's important to keep our values even in these troubled times. Especially in these troubled times. Let's set a shining example, leave those poor people alone. We're able to catch the military broadcast again. This time they're asking us to get out with a flashlight and signal to their plane after it gets dark. Look, as well, they'll be able to find us. Sounds like we'll be leaving soon. Yeah, let's. Also, desk clothes have gotten a bit dirty. Yeah, because once everyone's in the shelter for quite a while, then yeah, you can tell from their appearance. Everything was going as planned, but then the flashlight stopped working. We're lucky to get it fixed just in time to hear the distant roar of the plane's engines. Pretty sure the pilot saw us. Let's see if they get back to us. We should be fine for one more day. A sleazy-looking trader carrying an equally scruffy bag on his shoulder paid us a visit. He offered us a simple, one-time deal. With just one can of soup, we get the bag and all of its contents. We can't see what's inside, and the trader gives us angry glances every time we take a step towards the mysterious bag. Should we make a deal? No, I know what this does. Basically, you'll find a literal cat in the bag, and this also leads to some endings, but if the cat is in the shelter for too long, then more cats will eventually start showing up and they'll demand food or they'll kick you out of the shelter. No, I'm not making this up. It's hilarious. Also, sorry for the game pausing, I was just checking the OBS window for a bit. Our grandparents always told us to never buy anything sight unseen, and we're not about to start now. Gone are the times of yard sales. We can manage with whatever junk is in the mysterious bag. Okay, now let's wait, food and drink time. Alarm, there's a group of people outside and they don't seem too friendly. We recognize some of them, they used to be on neighborhood watch. They don't sound too concerned with the well-being of the neighborhoods anymore. They're very serious about angrily waving their heavy flashlights. Need to do something where they break in and take everything we have. Okay, yeah, sometimes there'll be attack, and yeah. Let's use the gun. Well, we've lost the gun as a result, unfortunately. Yeah. I'm not surprised that a few shots were enough to send those cowards running. The question is, what happens if the rifle malfunctions or we use all of our ammo? We do hope it will come to that, otherwise we might need to defend ourselves using knives and forks. Oh, damn it, we spoke too soon. I think the gun is broken. What do we do now? I'll hopefully get another one later down the line. You maniacs, you blew it up. Ah, damn you all to hell. That's something we should have told our neighbors when they blew up their barbecue last spring. They were good times, even though they wasted perfectly good barbecue. I love the little references in this game. Oh, I like the military is going to be conflicting us again. Who knows, maybe Neil will offer new opportunities and won't be that bad. Okay then. For that, the radio starting to stop for a moment. Let's start tuning in on the signal. Yeah, let's. And hopefully it's good news. Some friendly soul on the radio was talking about the supply packs she'd lost during a trip to our town. We immediately realized she must have driven to our street. We rushed out and got to the package before anyone else. Nice, so we got some water and we got a little bit of food. Kinda wish we got some more food, but I guess it is what it is. Surviving down here is no walk in the park, it will get easier. Well, all these will blow over soon and life will be back to what it used to be, or else we might face dangers we've never dreamt of. Yeah, there's a lot of text in this game, and this is why I didn't do this last week. Or a few weeks. I don't think the sun is coming. I mean, we will already know once it's officially been, when the game officially tells you he's not coming back. Oh, he's back. Yeah, he's back, and it seems his hair has gotten really long. We're trying our best to remain calm. The situation we're in is far from normal, and we might never get used to it. We hope the help comes soon. We're so afraid for Timmy, but he came back from the wasteland and is safe with us now. Never liked people who board long distance buses with baggage full of food, especially the kind that smelled bad. With our current situation... yeah, instantly proof of wrong. In our current situation, we will be more than happy to find suitcases filled with canned soup, or even some smelly cheese. Our local athletics team was preparing to depart for a championship taking place somewhere in the boondocks. The bus was full of refreshing water and spare shoes. Unfortunately, none of them were a match for us, so we just took all the water bottles. And Timmy only brought back some water, and that's all. Sheesh. Might need to prepare another scavenging trip. We're happy to open the door today and see some friendly faces. The siblings are asking for our help yet again. Decided a small tent is not fit to house their group anymore and decided to start building a small camp. They could use anything and anybody they can get, mainly for constructing houses. Well, let's use the axe for that then. And the burning dynamite, I mean Timmy. Well, a few splinters, but the work is done. We even had some fun. It was almost like building that treehouse in our backyard all over again. The group and their leaders appreciated our help and said they would definitely let us know when the whole thing is finished so we can come and visit them. Okay, let's give everyone some food and water because it's day 30. We need to make a choice for today's expedition. Which one of us is best fit for face the wasteland to survive? Well, Ted, you're going out and I'm giving you the axe. Okay. So what's next then? Yeah, hopefully Ted comes back soon. And hopefully we won't need the axe for anything else. Our last expedition brought use of a vehicle parked just down the street. Sure looked unique, but we never got close enough to get a good look. We're almost certain another bandit trap. Perhaps we should send someone over to check it out. I think this is different from the usual tank, in that because it's like, it don't say it's a burnt out tank, and yeah. I think this also leads to one of the endings, possibly. Hey Timmy, you go have a look at it, real quick. Okay, everyone's fine. A shocking discovery, it was a dirty ice cream truck. It was a little crispy around the edges and it was also missing wheels and some other crucial parts, but the seats were fairly comfortable. Would it be amazing to just drive away and leave this radioactive hell behind us? Also, the vehicle endings actually carry over to different endings. So, yeah. And now we have this. Now we can see the progress over the course of several runs on the ice cream truck. Okay, the Lord is fine. Oh dear, we just planned on taking a trip south in 2 months. If it's still there, we are going, right? Pretty sure they don't bomb wrong places. Oh my gosh. So naive. Also, I hear knocking. I can't help but hear knocking. We can make it work, even in Toronto. Question is, how do we find a boat to get there? Well, that's the best way to get to Europe. No, you idiot. Toronto is a Canada. Yeah, there's quite a bit of America is the world humor in this as well. Yeah. Okay. Moving on. A traveling salesman paid us a visit today. He introduced himself as Willy. Apparently, business can do it well even after the end of the world. Sadly, everything I would be with Europe, that's a big ocean to cross. It is, yes. Okay, man, if we don't actually need the gas mask anymore, but it's broken and we can't give it in this state. And we've got 2 cans of soup in exchange for that, so that's unfortunate. I'm probably good to haul out otherwise though. The salesman was very friendly, but it didn't have anything that was of interest to us. We couldn't get a clear signal from the radio till midday, but as we tuned in on the military broadcast, we were left speechless. Not only did they not deliver on the evacuation promise, they also ordered us to dispose of all our firearms before the military arrives to save us. Who asks such things of an American? Who? Okay, now we don't actually have the gun anymore, so we can't use the gun for this. But, of course, because we don't have a working gun, this will just succeed automatically. At least from my experience. Let's see then. Since we didn't have a gun to begin with, soldiers shouldn't have any issues with us. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, if you have the gun, then you must dispose of it to progress a military ending. Timmy has been sitting there just staring into space. Is something wrong? Maybe it would be good to have a little chat with him. Yeah, sure. Maybe it'll help him feel better. But to be fair, considering he lost his sister. I mean, yeah, he does look a bit better. Even a word or two may be enough to brighten someone's mood. Timmy seems to be better now. Dolores, please, you've just eaten. Yes, Timmy is very hungry, but that doesn't make sense. Maybe safe inside these walls, but there are problems to consider. None of us can sleep properly. We have to deal with this as soon as possible, otherwise we might end up falling asleep in the face of real danger, like Saucer Man from Mars. I think all that happens if you don't do this is everyone will just get tired. So that's fine. Also, I think that's Berg. Yes, yes. He's also incredibly tired. As is Timmy now, again. Bravely ignoring our symptoms, we tried to get at least an hour or 2 sleep. No luck, we're even more tired than we were, and there are other problems we will need to face soon. Let's just hope our yawning will be enough to scare rangers away or save us from radiation sickness. Let's safely return from his voyage to the surface. Well, that's good. We spotted an untouched store with many products inside, even food different than tomato soup. A real treat in these post-apocalyptic times. And we were about to reach it, a terrible noise made us stop in our tracks. Something heavy fell straight from the sky, crashing into the store and destroying it completely. Get out of here, Spammer. Okay. I'll just find a mutated dolphin and swim on it. Oh, that would be awesome. The settle we were looking at a spaceship, just like it in his comics. Could it be Saucer Man from Mars? It's funny, they were just mentioned. Now why does the American flag on the side and the logo of something called Astro Citizen? Could it be infiltration? Crafty little alien buggers. So this is a reference to 60 parsecs, which is basically 60 seconds in space. A game by the same developers. It's also much harder than this one. Someone stuffed a bunch of items into a big sock. Not sure how the sock made it through the crash, but they somehow succeeded in protecting the supplies inside. We got bug spray. We tend to take a bunch of jewelry that was rolling around the debris. But what would we do with it? Instead, we adopted some things that survived thanks to being stuck in an empty space helmet. Okay, suppose we can give that some food and water early. Okay, that's not my expedition for now. I was sorry excuse for it. Dinner was interrupted by a raspy voice coming from outside saying, "Wanna buy a rock?" They calmed down and realized the voice belonged to old man Jim, who used to live in our town. Well, at least we think he did. We just never quite figured out where he stayed. You should probably answer his question. It's impolite to keep people waiting like that. Mars, as in a chocolate Mars bar. Gimme chocolate. Also, not the boobs. Also, not. No, Mars is in the plans. But I could go for a Mars bar right now. Anyway, I think this is always safe. You just get a pet rock in the shelter. That's all it does. At least I think so. Normally there's a rock that appears, right? Or did I misremember? He opened the door and greeted the old man with a smile. He was eager to show us his bag filled with a rich choice of rocks and convinced us to take one for free for old time's sake. We gazed carefully chose the best looking rock and the man left. We can't complain, it's a good rock really. Also, he claimed it brings luck. We'll see about that. Okay, everyone should be fine for a few more days. Closed up in a tiny shelter and our supplies are very limited. If we want to survive, it's time for desperate measures. We know there's a group of elderly people hiding in the ruins of the local retirement home. Must have social supplies, in our opinion, we need them more. The well-being of your family is the most important thing in the world. Right. True, but we're pretty far along with the twins ending, so I'm going to say no to that. Okay. Are we instant people? Absolutely not. We are not snapped. Okay, we've read that variation of the text already. Seems awfully quiet outside. Maybe it's safe, maybe it's not. We won't know until we go out. Our friends are back, and somehow it's not a surprise they need our assistance yet again. The siblings are thrilled to announce that the camp has been built and only one small issue remains. A huge nest of mutated cockroaches. They tried to make them go away peacefully, but so far the roaches are refusing to cooperate. The eviction notice simply won't do. They will have to be dealt with in a more violent manner. Okay. If they won't ask any questions, I'll bring the axe to them. Okay, so what's next? The roaches proved to be reasonable. They respond to violence by moving out. They didn't even put up much of a fight, and maybe they were peaceful. Who cares? The camp is now ready to live in, and we hope our friends will enjoy the new insect-free home. Anyway, day 40. It's time to give everyone food and water. And we have plenty of water. We have like... how many bottles? I think we have 10 bottles. Yeah, just about. But we only have one can of soup left. If we get rescued, it'll have to be soon. There's nothing more annoying than silence, and that's all we're getting from our radio. No music, no talking, nothing. Is there anything you could do with the radio to make it work again? Sure, no staring at it won't help. I guess it's worth an attempt. Oh, it seems to be working again. Also, his status recovered, and man, he's got the big old lumberjack beard now. Well, we did what we could, but we still can't hear anything. Damn it. Okay, so what's next then? There was no military announcement on the radio. The soldiers are nearby and ordering a single person from each survivor group to meet them and outline the group situation. This is a bit odd. We do hope they mean well, it's still pretty much the only thing we can do, so it's probably worth sending someone over. Okay, Ted, you go. It gives us 2 avenues for an ending, so... Also, I hear knocking. Should you scavenge with your low food? Yes, but we are so close to the end of the game, it might not be necessary at this point. And I don't think you get rescued while a family member is out scavenging, so yeah. Made it to the meeting, the serious-looking soldier asked us a few questions, made some notes, and told us they would get back to us. And only hoped we made a good impression. Too bad our Sunday best didn't make it through the explosion. Yeah, we can still survive until at least day 50 with everyone. And even then we have one more portion of soup remaining for one more person, which will have to be our Ted or Dolores. Nothing more surprising than a knock on a fallout shelter door. Who could it be? Should we investigate and risk our very lives? That sounds like a good idea. Should we open the door? Yeah, let's. Day 43. So what has happened? Turned out there was a nice, mysterious fellow in a weird suit, and gave us some soup cans. This guy was around the next couple of days. Well, there we go. Opening that hatch was a bit risky. It seems to give us some awful sickness, and coughing is driving us crazy. But only Timmy who's sick, though. Oh, thank goodness. Yeah, we're going to be good for a while, at least. We suffered something strange on our way back from the expedition. A chain of lights on the horizon pulsing and flashing in a chaotic manner. Won't Timmy die? No. Someone can be sick for quite a few days and they'll, until they really need aid. I think the sick status effect turns into something else, like with agony, with hurt. Like when they are getting close to dying. Although he won't die, he'll just quote-unquote run away. The adults I don't know what they'll actually die, but you know what it means. The same is with insanity. It'll at first say crazy, and then it'll eventually say deranged. Basically shows that they're close to, like, not surviving. Anyway, there are lights on the horizon, pulsing and flashing in a chaotic manner. It didn't make much sense to us at the time. While we discussed in the shelter, Timmy said it might be a secret scout signal. So today or never is the final warning. Basically, yeah. You would need to check out the signal by himself and decode it using a scout book. Well, that's a good thing with the scout handbook. Okay, Timmy is rested, he is no longer tired, but I mean he's still sick, but yeah. We haven't seen Timmy this excited in a long time. He decoded the flashing lights as a scout signal indeed, which means some of his friends are still around and kicking. The last of your bandits found a scout book laying around and they are now trying to lure innocent kids into a trap. Timmy wants to prepare a coded message and try to transmit it soon. Okay, everyone should be fine for one more day without food and water. Okay, that's the trader with the cat back again. Day 45. Okay, now we are going to get the food and water. Yeah, because now it also says starvation, dehydration, so yeah. Okay. Private shelter can really put a strain on personal relationships. Privacy is a forgotten, impossible concept now, so even if you want to clear the air, well, even the most private conversations are guaranteed an unwanted audience. The Lord of Death could really use a quiet moment to talk in peace. How about a picnic in a nearby park? But no, he didn't. Yeah, there's like, you get like 2 warnings or so. Like, if it says someone needs food or water like right now, then the user can still last like a day or 2. But the good method to go about it is like food and water every 5 days. Like keep that going consistently, and they should stay alive. And make sure you 2 lovebirds go on a picnic for a while. Okay. Why does there say starvation for Timmy? Nothing like a romantic outing to a ruined post-apocalyptic park complete with giggling and whispering, smeared nothings over a shared can of tomato soup. Indeed, that's how Ted remembered it. Dolores is unwilling to comment, but they both feel better today, so clearly whatever happened was as lifted their spirits. Okay, it still says today or never for Timmy, okay? Just in case, I'm going to give him a little extra. Stereo sounds are coming from our radio, but they're hidden behind a ton of static. Do we want to tinker with it a bit and find the right frequency? It could be something important, or it could be the opposite. Only one way to find out. Yeah, sure, why not? Well, the radio is still intact. Managed to get a slightly clearer signal after twisting some knobs and pressing some buttons. A female voice talked about being stranded. In space? She said something about her crew members going insane and eating all the soup. This could be a prank or just a crazy person, but still, we wish we had a way to answer her. For now, we can only listen. Okay, now it's at this point we are at the point where it says if we don't do anything about Timmy's sickness, it might get worse. Okay, we'll use a medkit. Timmy prepared a short message to be transmitted tonight. There are a few options on how it could be done, so let's try to pick the best one. Oh, just back out completely. It's not too late to give up on this idea. Okay, you know what? They communicated with lights and used our flashlight as well. That sounds reasonable. Also, I'm going to take a sip of water myself, actually. Much better. Then we went outside to climb the highest point we could find, which in our situation turned out to be a fallen over truck with 2 more cars stacked on top of it. Probably not the safest place to be, but he managed to transmit the message successfully and return safely. Now we wait. Okay, there's nothing else going on yet, it seems. At least wherever it was, they met their end. After a series of terrifying screams, the radio fell silent. Just before that, a distressed woman recited her full name and address. She used to live in our town. Should we take a hike to her house and find out if she left anything of value? It's not like she will need it anytime soon, having to be swallowed whole by a bloodthirsty monster from outer space. At least that's what it sounds like. Could be supplies. Is anything up here? Because it doesn't seem like it. Oh yeah, more food. The address led us to a small apartment nearby. Inside we found work uniforms, several pairs of rollerblades and some supplies. The whole place smelled of coffee, and the uniforms looked like ones a diner waiters would wear. Under a ton of coffee beans in the kitchen sink, we found a stack of papers and contracts with a company called Astro Citizen. Was this lady really sent to space? Who was she? We kept on these questions while eating the tomato soup we took from her apartment. She didn't sound like she would need it anytime soon. Yeah, there's also a 60 parsec reference. The character in question is D.D. Dawkins, which is one of the crew members you can have in that game. And everyone should be able to hold that for one more day. Found some weird mushrooms growing on one of the walls. Food shortage is no laughing matter, so maybe it would be a good idea to grab a mushroom bite or two. What's the worst thing that could happen? The worst thing that could happen is you're all getting sick and we don't have our medkit anymore. It's either that or starvation will be dealt with. We'd be hungry, but there are some things we will never eat. Wolf fungus is one of them. Okay, food and water for everyone. Someone is at the door. We're a bit scared, but maybe it's a friendly face of an American soldier. Should we open? Yeah, let's open. The end. So what's happened then? It's the twins! They came back to save us! Woohoo! We were ecstatic when our friends came over today to officially invite us into their new camp. The siblings said they are incredibly grateful for all the help and assistance we have provided. They claim the whole thing wouldn't be possible without us. They swear they already made a separate house for us, all finished and with some of our own supplies, and there are plenty of families waiting to meet us there. We can't wait to be between people again. Maybe the world isn't as bad as it looked. We can't wait to start our new, more peaceful and normal life. Goodbye, little shelter. You've been our hope for a long time, but today it's time to move on and the future is looking really bright. Anyway, then and it will survive for 51 days, and then there's a summary of the things that have happened. Wolverines. I've got business here. And the bird, the plane. Oh, there's also a little reference here. Yeah, Dawkins residence, like I said. At the beginning, which is also a reference to Star Wars, I think. Okay, yeah, so that was a successful run. And we have indeed survived. Almost all of us have. Rip Mary Jane. Well, let's do another run, why not? But we are playing on the higher difficulty this time around. Also, as you can see, the ice truck is parked there now, because now it can show up in a later run. So yeah. Yeah, let's play another run in pocket mode, of course. Well, let's play as Dolores this time. Maybe she can just girl boss her way through the apocalypse, no problem. I'll play on frontline difficulty this time around. Charbomba is a bit too difficult even for me. And I swear, in the highest difficulty, if someone is sick, it can also spread to other family members, so yeah. Okay, we have less exploration time now as well. So yeah. Okay, flashlight. Gas mask. Water and some food. Okay, suitcase. Sure. Okay, let's grab Timmy. And let's of course grab the med kit. Okay, no guns. Man, this beginning section was jank. Yes, it's purposely jank to make it more difficult. At least according to the developers. Basically, the controls being against you is just part of why this is a bit tricky to do. Nothing in the bathroom, wonderful. Let's grab whatever we can. Yeah, we don't have time to grab anything else, let's just go. Rip Ted. Although, maybe not. There's a chance a family member can survive while hiding in a fridge and they'll come back a few days later. I got an achievement, be prepared, don't forget to stock your shelter. Huh. Okay, the shelter is much emptier now because we don't have many extra bonus starting supplies. So, here we are, the three of us are safe and sound. We just need to make it work from now on. Really wish it was 4 of us. Oh dang, you didn't save the dead. Oof. True. I didn't. Which means we have to keep Dolores alive at all costs, because if she goes, then the run is over. We vaguely remember stashing some things in the shelter because there was no room for them upstairs, so that being messy can really work in your favor. Now we got we started with 1 extra pack of cards. Good thing we got a suitcase, what we found inside will definitely prove useful. And there was a harmonica inside. Look, we have plenty of cans, plenty of water. Well, we have 1 less mouth to feed, but ripped it. Okay. Okay, 4 cans. I kinda wish there was more, but oh well. Wish you could just leave. Sitting down here with barely anything to do is driving us crazy. Well, we gotta hold that for a bit longer. Hopefully Mary Jane will survive this time around though. And we really need to go scavenge soon. We can take care of ourselves. Yeah. Okay, let's start preparing and I guess we'll send Timmy out with the gas mask tomorrow. You'd expect a nuclear explosion would be enough to quench any petty arguments when the future is not looking too pretty. No, you see the naked wolf. Not much is necessary for an explosion. It happened. We started fighting like crazy. Oh, don't break any limbs. I want to save this medkit. Please. Man, I love how Dolores always just looks so disappointed. Like, even in the trailers for the game, she looks like the only sane person. Like, especially at the end for the Reatomized trailer, while all the other family members are insane, she's the only one who isn't. We stopped arguing, but for how long? Yeah, I don't know. Okay, let's send Timmy out of the gas mask. It went well last time around. Although, if you're on a high difficulty, there's also a bigger chance eventually to negative consequences, so yeah. Knock knock, this sounds always surprises and confuses us. It could mean anything, good or bad, but we're always curious. Should we open the door? Sure. So, what was it then? Everyone looks fine. We opened the hatch, but there was nobody there. Damn pranksters making jokes even after the apocalypse. I mean, if you're in the middle of an apocalypse, surely there's something better you can do than ding door ditch. Come on, man. Sorry, ding dong ditch, I mean. Our hideout was approached by men we didn't know. He claims he used to be an accountant, but now he survives as a trader and a gambler. He offered us a card game for a bet of 2 water bottles. Shall we play? How many bottles do we have? Only 5. This is worth the risk, especially on the harder difficulty. I mean, we don't have a lot of starting supplies, I guess. If this goes wrong, I guess at least we will lose the run early. You know what, it's early in the run, I'll risk it. Seems we're lucky, we have more water on the shelf already. Haha, Lady Luck has smiled on us, won a vicious game of war. The man wasn't too happy about it, but he delivered on his promise. And sure enough, we got 2 water bottles. We always thought life could be better, that was before we got nuked. Now we think life could be much better. In a way, not that much has changed. Snore. Who knows, maybe the new world offer new opportunities and it won't be that bad. Okay, everyone else still doing fine. So, is that dead? He likely is, unfortunately, yeah. I mean, the chance that a family member you leave behind survives is incredibly small. And if they do survive, they'll usually come back like hurt, sick, and insane as well. Yeah, we don't have a radio for this event, unfortunately. Oh, hello, that sounds like Timmy. Timmy's back and he broke into a gas mask. The Sake ignores this place, another day without any clue what's going on might not necessarily kill us. We're so afraid for Timmy that came back from the wasteland is safe with us now. Pile of coverage revealed that we stumbled across a big parking lot. Almost no cars survived the blast wave, but we went between the wrecks to explore anyway. On the bridge remains of a picnic table, we found some bottled water. Those bottles were not in the best state, but their contents looked perfectly drinkable. It seems, well, like the bomb interrupted someone's picnic. Thankfully, they were big fans of tomato soup and the indestructible cans were scattered all around the parking lot. Damn it, our gas must have damaged the expedition. We spotted some sort of vehicle just down the street, but couldn't get a good enough look at it in the dark. Maybe future expeditions will prove more fruitful. Okay, I'm going to give Timmy some water, like the game asks, or what? Oh no, it says he should eat something. I mean, he did just come back. I mean, no needs are paused, but I'm never quite sure. Okay, the place is still probably pretty contaminated, so... yeah. Let's wait till at least like day 12 or so before we send someone out. Because we don't have any way to confirm whether things are safe outside or not. Now there is a risk to sending people out as well. There's actually a chance that if you come back you get a message saying, maybe we're paranoid but I think we were being followed. And then some days later bandits will take over the neighborhood. And at that point sending someone out for an expedition will kill them immediately. And that's also basically the end game where every so often raiders will come through the door and you have to defend yourselves. So yeah. Playing a game or two might be a good way to relieve the mood to take our minds off the problems of today and tomorrow. And hey, playing games is good for you, so I can give it a try every now and then. Anyway, day 10, let's give everyone food and water. Especially Dolores, because she needs to stay alive without that around. We played I Spy and it was pretty fun for the first few minutes. After that, everyone got bored to the letter W. So this game mode can last for 50 days of survival, can vary. It can absolutely vary. In fact, there's also some challenge runs where people have apparently survived for more than 200 days. So yeah. Which is of course pretty difficult to do, and that's an achievement for surviving 111 days. But yeah, it can absolutely vary. It also depends on how many supplies you have, of course. Like right now we don't have the radio, so we cannot contact the military until we find a radio somewhere. So yeah. Different kind of endings of course, but yeah. Last thing we expected to hear while sitting in a full house. So it's more make progress to an end to survive. Yeah, indeed. And try to stay alive doing so. Last thing we expected to hear while sitting in a full house shelter was a trumpet. It was played by someone who was clearly not a trumpet player and who had probably never heard a trumpet player in his entire life. They came with a friend who knocked on the door and demanded that we let the merry men enter, so they could take from the rich and give to the poor. Should we let them in? Okay, whether this all... what will happen in this case kind of depends on how many items you have, not counting food and water. If you have less than 7 items in your shelter, they'll consider you poor and they'll give you items. But if you have 7 or more, they consider you rich and take from you. So, not counting food and water, we have Scout Handbook. Flashlight, suitcase, harmonica, cards, first aid kit, padlock. We have exactly 7. No. We need the little supplies we have right now, so yeah. Did answer those peculiar calls, they kept the door locked until the noises outside faded away. Not exactly sure we want those people to come back. They sound harmless enough. What harmless people can be trusted in these... But can harmless people be trusted in these troubled times? It might be worse than those who don't seem harmless at all. Man, that sounds familiar. We were about to go to sleep when we heard scratching coming from the door. At first it sounded like an angry rat trying to eat the damn thing. We soon discovered there was something much worse. Someone is on the other side of the door trying to pry it open. We need to act. Okay, bad luck. Yeah, we've defended ourselves because I just got the pacifist achievement. I remember getting a lot of achievements for this game, but I guess that wasn't the original version. If you had the original, you would have gotten this version of the game for free later on, when it came out. I didn't think this whole padlock would stop them, but it turned out to be enough to discourage the unknown attackers. It seems that they gave this whole break-in a fair shot, but ultimately gave up and left. Too bad that padlock is in no shape to be used again. We need to figure out what ways to fight off the bandits and other soup-hungry barbarians. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Now we don't have anything to defend ourselves with. That's not good. Okay, I think we can start preparing for an expedition now. Let's see then. Okay, yeah, enough sitting around. Okay, Mary Jane, you'll go outside and you'll bring... Okay, I think I'll give you the flashlight. Please come back. I don't want to go 2 consecutive runs with losing Mary Jane. And we already are 1 person short, so yeah. Mary Jane went outside, let's hope she races back soon. Okay, and of course we still don't have the radio, so we cannot contact the military. There's the twins again. Of course we can go for the same ending again, but this is really interesting. Yeah, the game said if there's anything we need to do is use the radio, but we cannot exactly use the radio we don't use. I guess we could try for the twins ending again. Well, I'll try to go for a different ending if I encounter one. Yes, we answered the phone, but they made contact with the twins, okay. Timmy noticed his old telescope in a pile of rubble on the other side of the street. He was really excited about stargazing again. I told the night sky is one of the very few things that still look about the same after the blast. Okay, yeah, let's have them stay pointlessly at the sky for a while, why not? Might make you feel better. Yeah, in fact he is arrested as well, so he's looking much better. Timmy came back claiming he saw a mustached man on the moon. What nonsense is this? That's probably just a smudge on the lens. Okay then. Could use some extra supplies. Yeah, last time we don't. Oh, that's the damaged tank. No, last time I did this, it exploded and we lost Mary Jane. Let's not. I could not explore. I could not investigate in the tank. We decided to get going for an inspection of the tank. All we know might be a trap or simply a burnt out wreck. Not worth our time and effort. Or our lives, apparently. By contacting our daily supply count, we noticed that the soup can was missing. We're absolutely sure it was there just yesterday. Can only mean one thing. We have a soup thief among us. Now we just need to figure out who the culprit is. Who ate the soup? Okay. Who do you guys think ate the soup? I mean, alternatively, we can just go on without blaming anyone. Which honestly might be the best shot. Honestly, considering how she's often portrayed as being food hungry, it might have just been that Mary Jane secretly snuck a candle along with her when she went outside. I don't know. So, do we accuse someone of eating soup or do we not? Because I'm not sure. It could lead to bad things. Dolores did it, okay. Okay. Dolores, it is all your fault. Probably. Okay, so what happened as a result? Dolores took this opportunity to calmly point out how messy the shelter is, and by calmly, I mean that she hasn't thrown anything at anybody just yet. We apologized to her when the soup can was found behind the cupboard. How could we ever suspect her of doing something so terrible? Shame on us. Okay, well, our food is safe at least. I once blamed it on Mary Jane, and she angrily threw a soup can on the ground. And because she interrupted us, the present, she was like, never ask me to do anything ever again. Our supplies are scarce now, morale is low. You can always feel the desperation in the shelter. Pretty sure there's a small group of survivors nearby. Mostly old folks from the retirement home. It should be hard to borrow some of their supplies. They're old anyway, we need them more. Right. I mean, we've already done the twins ending once. Just this once I'm going to do it, sure. I got achievement, the dark side. Show your evil self. Well, we got a lot more soup as a result. And a bloody headprint, which indicates that we've raided someone. Which also means the twins won't come for us anymore. And Mary Jane's back. If any of these old people was a horrible idea, as soon as we approached the hideout, we heard their horrible battle cries. Is that how you treat your grandma, young man? You should be ashamed. We quickly went back to the shelter now. Nobody wants to talk about it. It's probably for the best. And yeah, this await further instruction figures unmarked is now X'd out, so we can no longer get help from yeah. Nothing made us happier than the sight of Mary Jane returned to the shelter from the surface. Yeah, we got the flashlight back. Walking aimlessly among the ruins is not unusual. We're drawn to places we knew and loved. You know, we weren't specifically looking for it. We found ourselves in front of our favorite bowling alley. The bar didn't have much to offer. Some rotten salads, a bunch of burnt peanuts, and for some reason a cowboy hat. We happened to find the secret types of soup cans under some rubble. Wow, it's almost as if this country run almost entirely on soup cans. The staff room was always intact and nicely decorated. On top of a beautiful rug stood a table with a radio on it. Such a lucky find. We tried dragging the rug with us to decorate our shelter, but it was too heavy. It's a real shame. A rug like that could really tie the room together. Well, we got the radio, so that's good. The venue had its own game room, where you could relax after running around with huge, heavy balls. Don't fight it like that, please. Most of the games were missing or damaged, but we found a decent checkerboard with almost all the pieces. Guaranteed hours of fun. And it might sound paranoid, but we think someone followed us. Let's just hope that this doesn't happen again. This is not good. This means we've been spotted by bandits, and eventually we will, yeah, frequently be attacked by raiders. That's not good. If you want to send someone out to scavenge, it should be now. And Timmy is arrested, so it'll be Timmy. The vehicle down the street looked like someone's work in progress. We observed it from afar. Who could the owner be? We kept our distance for the time being, but we may want to take a closer look in the future. It could potentially be our ticket out of here. Yeah, this is still here, of course. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, at this point we should give everyone food and water. Okay, during the night we heard some suspicious sounds coming from behind our door. We peeked out in the mornings. When we peeked out in the morning, we saw a leather suitcase. And there's no address or name on it. We're pretty sure it's meant for us. Should we open it? Sure. Could be supplies, but it could also be a trap. You know what? We won't be able to start scavenging again soon. I think we might need to take the risk. A gift. Receive a gift. I guess it was good then. And sure enough, that was just a regular tomato soup that we all know and love. It can be either like some expired food or water, or it can be the booby trap. Of course, the expired food or water will turn someone sick, and if it's a booby trap, it'll hurt them. Okay, Timmy. You're going out and you're bringing... I guess nothing. Everything else might be important for the military ending, potentially. He'll be fine. Probably. Right, let's see. Yeah, I think we went out. Remember the time Mary Jane went out to scavenge supplies? When she got back, she had a wound on her forearm. Nothing serious, she claimed, but it looked like something had bitten her. Now the injury is looking much worse. Fear may be infected, we have to clean it up. Oh boy. Do we do this? Because here's the thing. The medkit is important if you encounter the dog, which if you do at the last stage of which you have to patch the dog up with the medkit. And if you do that, you actually get the dog in your shelter. Muted, muted, muted. Okay, I don't think it's the one that leads to the muted, but okay. Maybe? Otherwise, you can always patch her up later if she does get sick. And she did. Everything will be fine. It's not the first time, it won't be the last time she's sick. She's looking a bit pale today, though. But yeah, if you don't have the medkit when the dog comes back injured, then the dog will die, and yeah. Okay, yeah, let's indeed contact, you know, the military, hopefully. Let's see then. We knew it, the government has not fallen, they are coming to save us. They get an exact date in the radio transmission. We're sure they won't keep us waiting long. They said they will be in touch in a couple of days and told us to await further instructions. There's a small muddy pond in the park nearby. Too bad we forgot our fishing rod. Perhaps we could try to fish something out of the nasty water using the old suitcase. Let's. Well, we lost the suitcase. We had to admit, we're counting on some kind of fish or to enrich our tomato diet. This we'll have to do instead. Too bad the suitcase got root in the process. Well, we got a map at least. No, I didn't stop him, better give us a food today, or else. Jeez, how threatening. To be fair, she is an edgy teenager, so... Everything is shaking, cans are jumping all over the place. It doesn't happen after we drank the delicious wine for supper a few weeks back. It would seem perfectly normal. It's either another nuke or a quake. Either way, we need to grab something before everything gets smashed to pieces. Okay, I got lucky this didn't happen last time, because... we can save one item, and whatever we don't save, we'll lose. If we can also just go on and not save anything, but then we'll lose everything, which is pointless. I guess we'll save the radio, because we need to contact the military. But we'll lose the, you know, flashlight. Timmy's back. So what did you bring, boy? Earthquake or not, nothing's going to stand between us and our daily dose of radio static. We're able to grab it before it could fall down and get smashed. Something else might be broken, we won't know until we clean the place up. I mean, there's cracks all over the place now. Anyway, Timmy's back. Used to visit our local cinema so often that we could travel there blindfolded. It wasn't that surprising when this was where our feet took us, almost without involving our brains in the process. Yeah, this one is much tougher. The difficulty level really matters. This game can get really difficult. Cinema has a strict policy of not bringing your own drinks into the movie hall. Feels like somebody broke the rules a little. We found a lot of bottles in the last row of the hall. Some were even full. The only thing left of the ticket booth is the door with a padlock on it. The security must have been questionable. Someone forgot to take the key out. Now at least we can take that with some extra defense. Breaking your leg in most ruins is not difficult, and the cinema wasn't helping. If it wasn't for our Hawkeyes and cat-like reflexes, the flashlight abandoned in the middle of the movie theater possibly would have proven lethal. Well, would you look at that? We lost our flashlight, but we gained another one. Basically a net loss of 0. And yeah, our trip to the theater might have been spotted and followed. There's no way we can still scavenge now. It's not worth the risk. During our last expedition, we finally approached a nearby vehicle. It was an ice cream truck, missing wheels and a few other crucial components. The outside was rusty and a little burnt up. If we hoped to ever drive away from here, we could scavenge for something to reinforce it. Anything we should grab for this little supply run? Yeah, let's use the flashlight we just got. Why not? Okay, we did lose the flashlight. Wow, okay. Armed with a flashlight, we braved the darkness of an almost intact basement a few houses down the street. There were lots of cobwebs and an impressive collection of barbecues. We got some grills so we installed on our vehicle for protection. It smells wonderful too. Oh, the flashlight didn't make it. Shame. Yeah. Now we have a decoration on it for some reason. Okay, you're still sick. I'm not sure if there's like sick turns into something else like diseased or something. Yeah. Okay, let's listen to the radio chatter and hopefully get out. Okay, that did not sound good. Oh no, the radio broke. Oh damn it, something blew up inside the radio and the rest of the thing caught fire. We're able to put it out, but it doesn't work anymore. Unfortunate. Please look into it. Okay, let's do this time around. Why not? Out of the bag, find a new companion. Well, thanks for the achievement. Now we have Shabakov, we have a cat in the shelter. This also locks us out of getting the dog. Now if you have the dog and then get the cat, then the dog could be chased out with the cat. Yeah, we have a kitty. Although this not force us into several endings. We're now on a time limit, basically. I mean, we already were, because, you know. We already were, because the bandits are going to come in a while. As soon as the door closed behind the trader, the bag started to violently shake, emitting screeching, hellish sounds. Terrified, we backed up against the wall. When the beast finally escaped, it turned out to just be an angry house cat. The feline gave us a menacing look and promptly sat down in the corner to clean himself. Its collar says Sharkov. Is that his name? Okay, we should be fine for one more day. Oh no, it's the mutated ants. Okay, this time around I'm going to agree with the Lord because last time they ate a can of soup. We're going to need that soup now. And Timmy's gone. What? On the top of an atomic ant farm, the Dolores put her foot down several times. She swallowed and stomped furiously. With a look of glee on her face until all the insects were dealt with, Timmy was mortified. Wait, where's Timmy though? Lack of water drove Timmy insane. He opened the shelter door and ran away without looking back. He's not likely to return. Excuse me, but I'm pretty sure I waited every 5 days. Did I miscount for Timmy? Well, that's unfortunate, we lost Timmy. Now Jane's restless and lonely. She really misses her music lessons. She will not visit her high school again. It's a little further than Timmy's school. It could be worth a trip. There could still be some supplies there, or maybe she runs into some other kids. It's risky, of course, but it might not be the worst idea ever. I love how the worst idea ever is capitalized. Like either word. So how about it? Should we go on a walk? You know what? We only. Seems like 5 days is a good estimate, but not exact. Yeah, true. We did send them out scavenging. Maybe that's where I miscounted. Yeah, let's do it. Some extra supplies might be a good idea. Mary Jane promised to be extra careful. Hopefully this little trip lifts her spirits. Okay, Mary Jane is outside now. The trader pushing a rusty wheelbarrow filled with all kinds of good stuff by today. He claimed he's a trader looking to barter for items he requires. We have plenty of food and water for 2 people, so no thanks. Oh, the cat's meowed. Oh, what was it? The Dolores is doing quite well, but she just can't find anything to complain about today. Wow, okay. Sharkov is still a fresh addition to the little family, so need to keep an eye on it. And believe it or not, just today we noticed something else on its collar. It seems to be a metal plate with an address on it, and it's not far. Should you take a quick trip and see what's there? Sure, why not? Yeah, it could have just not been exact. Yeah. Oh, Mary Jane's back. Before we reached the end of our street, we were stopped by 2 men wearing dark coats and stylish hats. They rushed towards the cat to pick him up, saying that we've been looking for him for a while now. Supposedly Sharkov belongs to an old lady who was rather fond of it and misses the little guy dearly. We shrugged and went back to our shelter. The cat didn't seem to care, so why would we? Good thing so why should we? Good thing we didn't get too attached to it in the last few days. This is not the last of the cat we've seen, by the way. Anyway, Mary Jane's back. Okay, I just again because we did send her out on giving her food and water. And let's actually use the medkit now. Judging by the sound of gunfire and screams, it sounded like a band of thugs has taken control of the area. Going out could be very risky. Yeah, sending someone out now is suicide. Mary Jane didn't find anything noteworthy in terms of supplies, but she did have a look at the school registry and found an address of her favorite music teacher. He now insists on paying him a visit. is a nice older gentleman who might be in need of assistance in these tough times. It will be a pretty long walk, and obviously not the safest, so we agree to this. Now, if I recall correctly, I'm not entirely sure, but I think events like this do not count as an expedition. So I think we will be safe from the bandits regardless. Otherwise, well, then I'm the fool, I guess. So, what happens then? Well, Mary Jane is much better because we healed her. We started to worry, but Mary Jane found her way back to the shelter. There was no reason to worry about her old teacher. One thing she neglected to tell us is that he is a hardened war vet. Hardened war vet. He's doing just fine for himself. She was very happy to see Mary Jane alive and even shared some supplies with her. The trip really exhausted her, but at least her mood has improved. Well, that's good. The problem is simple. If you don't wash yourselves, we get sick. Seriously sick. It smells really bad down here and it doesn't seem like it'll get any better over the next couple of days. How about we do something to fix it? We cannot do anything. We don't have anything that can help with that. And we also lost the medkit, so oh dear, they are both sick now. The world has ended. Who cares about showering? We can get used to it. And that thing shouldn't be hard. It will be like a camping trip. It will... Oh no, that smells just terrible. Don't puke! Don't... Suspicious looking stains cover parts of the page. Oh, wonderful. Okay, let's get a food and water. I'm pretty sure those food and water can, like, you know... They can, I think feeding them enough can let them heal eventually. Just when we thought we might have a quiet day, we got invaded. A group of bandits is on the upside of that door. Demanding we walk out, hands in the air, or they will get in the hard way. That doesn't sound too good. What do we do? So yeah, now we're in the late stage of the game where bandits have taken over the neighborhood, so... Every 5 or so days they will start attacking and we'll have to defend ourselves. Okay, let's use a harmonica, why not? Oh, the cat's back. Well, we're still alive, so that's good. They lowered down their weapons and cried a few tears, surprised by the beauty of our music. They will let us live. Today. Yeah, but they'll be back, unfortunately. To our surprise, we found Sherko back in our shelter this morning. Not exactly sure why or how it came back. Is our good care it appreciates, our kind hearts, optimism, but it's our stockpile soup cans, only time will tell. Yeah, and unfortunately there's nothing much we can do about it. Everyone's sickness right now. Yesterday during charades we learned that Mary Jane does know how to spell anti-disestablishmentarianism. Has left Dolores sorely disappointed. She insists on home, or rather shelter schooling Mary Jane a little. Okay, I'm going to do this because this has a chance of getting something in the shelter fixed if it's broken. Or maybe the medkit refills, that would be nice. Oh, would you look at that, we can cure someone. The Lord does not mess around. It was started out as a spelling exercise that quickly found its way to a math revision, followed by a short physics course and ending on tinkering with random objects in the shelter. Mary Jane looks exhausted, and we can't deny the state of her shelter has improved today. Sure enough, we have a medkit. Okay, I'm going to have to use this on Dolores because she's the adult, and if she dies, the game ends. Curiosity almost killed the cat. Sharikov found tiny wires sticking out from the ceiling and pulled it out. Plaster and debris fell on our table, topped off with a big, meowing furball. What is this thing anyway? Nobody remembers it being there before. The cat might get angry if we take away the wire, so maybe it's best to leave it be. Or should we examine the wire? Sure. Look, if we're going to die anyway, why not? We grabbed the cable and followed it to a rusty old truck parked in our neighbor's driveway. Upon opening the door, we confronted with 2 men wearing huge headphones who looked extremely surprised to see us. They wiretapped our shelter when we were asleep and they were listening to everything we said. We gave them hell and marched back to our bunker. Ah yeah, the government agents, those also lead to an ending. Okay, I don't trust anything right now. I'm giving you food and water. Agents who are spying on us are now at the door and want to explain themselves. Do we hear them out? Sure. Oh, that does not sound healthy. Okay, what did they have to say? They briefly waved some sort of ID cards in front of our faces and told us they are on a top secret government mission. The white tab wasn't to spy on us, but rather on the cat. It suspected of being a Soviet agent. Okay. I forgot about that bit. They went to let us into their super top secret government safe house if we helped them with some of their top secret missions. They showed us that they contacted us again with more detail. Okay. And the bandits are back. I guess we'll use the padlock to defend ourselves. Unbreakable. Defeat 3 bandits attack in 1 game. Unfortunately, you're pretty much guaranteed to lose items from bandit attacks. In fact, you're pretty much guaranteed to... Now, except for the harmonica, but you'll lose that a 2nd time. Yep. We managed to fight all the bandits, for now. I'm going to give you both food and water again. But the situation is simple. A bored, it's too quiet, or desperately craving entertainment. The solution also seems simple. Somebody could give our old harmonica a spin, but who is best suited to give us a high-quality mouth organ concert? The decision has to be made. When Mary Jane plays the tuba, she's already familiar with instruments. So she gets to play the harmonica. Mary Jane volunteered eagerly. It's obvious she really misses a tuba. We spent a few hours trying to remember all the songs she used to play and write down the notes. In the end, she was too tired to actually try playing any of the songs she wrote down and just fell asleep. Well then. So what's next? No, it's a young woman who hunted a spider. We cannot help her, unfortunately. I think if you help her, she has a chance of actually showing up if bandits attack and you don't have any way to defend yourself. And then she shows up with the spider. But unfortunately, we couldn't help her with the ammo. Okay, yeah, there's a guy who wants to sell a pet rock, sure thing. Knocking again, sheesh. Yeah, he gave us a lucky rock, or so he claims. It's a shame you don't get to see the rock in the shelter though. Here's a high-tech setup involving paper cups and yards of string. The agents rang in with our next top secret mission that will surely land us in the VIP bunker very soon. Wants to go on 1 successful expedition, write down what we saw in the journal. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? I don't know about that, there's bandits outside. But I guess if it leads to an ending... And who knows, maybe this one is guaranteed to be safe because, you know, it's for an ending. Hey, Mary Jane, take care of them, please. Okay, we graciously agreed to fulfill our request. They thanked us for doing our civic duty and promised to be back with more information soon. Oh dear, the bandits are back. That didn't sound good. Yeah, we lost the harmonica now. Relieved to see another day, our attempt at producing beautiful soulful music that would soften the hearts resulted in a cacophony of hellish noises instead. The attackers ran away, covering their ears. They will probably be back. And it seems somehow we lost our harmonica due to that. I don't see the logic in that. Oh no, the mutated rodents that want to attack our supplies. No. Not good. Yeah, we lost our soup can. The beast of rodent won. It won and stole our food. Can or no can, at least we have each other, right? Just wait till I come back to finish what it started. Yeah, supplies are running low and yeah, let's raid someone. At this point we need supplies. Well, Mary Jane's back. We are now rich in some supplies, but for some reason we don't feel very good about it. We just never mentioned this whole thing again. Anyway, she's back, so the recon mission was risky business. We had to visit neighborhoods that were dicey even in the best of times. The area is full of mutated cats and dogs fighting each other in gangs, all of them armed to the teeth. How does that work? We barely made it out of there alive, but the agents seem to appreciate our efforts. Let's hope these missions are actually worth it. Our bucket is just about due for an upgrade, and we're expecting the government shelter to have an excellent bathroom, maybe even a hot tub. Oh dear, it seems Mary Jane is also hurt. And there's nothing we can do to help her. Chekhov seems to be fond of our checkerboard. His favorite game during stretches of extreme boredom and sizing the shelter is pushing the checker pieces off the table as it faces intended whoever happens to be sitting the closest. Cat behavior, okay. So the checkers hitting the floor every 10 seconds is getting on nerves and considering taking the game away. So we let Chekhov play with the checkers? Yeah, because if you take it away, who knows, the cat might start scratching you. As soon as we allowed to play with the checkerboard, Chekhov is instantly got bored of it. It sit on top of it for a whole afternoon though, leaving us with no entertainment whatsoever. A selfish bastard. At least it didn't break anything. So what next then? Okay, it's a gambler, and how many supplies do we have? Plenty. Let's not gamble this time around. There's always the risk we might lose our supplies. Gambling is a terrible habit. What kind of example of that was at the kids? We need supplies with, we're not getting them like that. We'd sooner rob someone, so we send that man away. Good riddance. And unfortunately the bandits are back and we have no way to defend ourselves. Oh boy. Yep, the end. Oh, the Lord is gone. Oh no! Instead of murdering us all and robbing our supplies like we expected it to, the bandits grabbed Dolores and pulled her out of the shelter, kicking and screaming. Damn you bandits, Dolores will make you pay for this, we're sure of it. Surviving the apocalypse is no easy task, we can tell you that much. Yeah, like I said, if there's no adult in the shelter, then yeah. So unfortunately we've perished this time around. Okay, I have like 20 more minutes. Let's do a challenge run this time around, why not? We'll do one of the challenges. It shouldn't take too long, hopefully. A survival challenge, please. Shelter alone. Okay, this one sounds funny. The McDoodles set out for a family expedition, but make the classic mistake of forgetting their son. Little Timmy has the shelter all for himself, but a pair of bandits have their eye on the seemingly abandoned McDoodle bunker. Can Timmy protect his home until his parents return? Okay, so I'll just lurk for now, okay. Protect the shelter for 30 days. Timmy only, no expeditions, action disabled. Our reward is some skins for some of the items. Let's go it. So yeah, these are theme challenges, they also have unique stories behind them. And this is all we're starting with. Alone in the shelter, finally alone, so many possibilities, so much space. Thankfully Ted and Dolores left some supplies behind. They took the axe, so this rifle will have to do if anyone tries to make trouble. We really miss the life we had. The space, the sky, the food, more food. Which you could do back to the time before this damn bomb dropped. The question is though, will Timmy go insane from being on his own or not? Yes, he has pretty much immediately gone insane. Now he's wearing a soup can on his head and is puncturing a teddy bear. What we make of today will be our tomorrow, so let's make it right. Timmy's behavior is odd. You don't say. A polite knock on the door turned into a loud banging. Oh no, it's a bandit crew and they are trying to break down the door. Good thing we have this rifle, we're gonna give you to the count of 10 to get your mutated yellow no good keysters off our shelter before we pump your guts full of lead. 1, 2, 10. Yeah, that's a unique event for this challenge. And we did lose the gun, but I think that's scripted. Able to hit one of them with a lucky ricochet that scared them off. And he was running away, holding his buttocks, he cried over his shoulder, "Roll me back, you're gonna get you little jerk." One of them even lost his shoes. Yeah, this escalated quickly, and the damn rifle was jammed. Perhaps we need a plan. Jamie keeps acting really weird. Weirder than usual, anyway. Okay, green puddle. I guess we can use a gas mask for that. Knock knock. Problem solved. No leak, no mess. Back to our tidy little shelter. Okay, well, let's have to get up in the Oh, we do not have the map for this. It's also kind of down to luck whether we'll make this or not. Probably. Okay, now is the time we should give Timmy food and water. Although we tried to decline politely, the guests were clearly offended. They galloped away waving their wooden swords and screaming something about cutting down shrubberies. Absolutely crazy. I think because the guys are supposed to be a Monty Python and the Holy Grail reference. Because they also talk about looking for some kind of antique cup. Something needs to be done for the bandits' return. We know for a fact at least one of them is barefoot. It's something sharp enough for to be stabbed on the ground that could really make them feel the pain. Yeah, let's use the checkerboard. Okay, not the checkerboard, but checker please are set in place. As predicted, at least one of the invaders was barefoot and so terrible screams could be heard outside. Seems like good old American checkers are much worse than the new Danish invention Legos. Hey, we'll be back. We know that you're in there and that you're all alone. They shouted before leaving. Worried about Timmy's state of mind. He's not doing very well. Yeah, unfortunately, he is crazy still. Spiders seem to be operating on the assumption that they have all the same rights to the shelter that we do. They're everywhere and don't seem very scared of us. It's time we change that. We don't want any more spiders in our soup. No, sir. Right, then let's get rid of them. There's one thing that can drive spiders away. To stop us climbing up the furniture, it's the bug killing spray. It was the right time to unleash it. The deadly weapon, the results were excellent. We raided 404 of those little bastards. I get it because of bug error 404. You found a water bottle stashed in the corner. It was a good day. There's a package outside, wrapped in so much crumpled newspaper, it's basically a shapeless blob. There's a note attached. It reads, "You are the man of the house, shelter boy. Don't let us down. That. Shall we open it? Okay, sir. 10 sent us a care package. Okay. What did it do for us? Well, definitely gives a not so cool prank. How nice. And some tough love won't do more harm than the A-bomb radioactive mutants and the collapse of the society if you know it, right? Right? Maybe really is himself, very worried about him. But at least we got the bug spray back. Yeah, it still says crazy, so it's not too deranged yet. Okay, who knocked on the door then? Let's go check. Oh, it's just someone doing ding dong ditch again. Ever since we jumped into our fall shelter, we were wondering about that other door in the shelter. Should it even be here? Well, it was late. It's high time we checked it out. We don't have a way of checking it out. Anyway, some things are better left untouched and unknown. Whatever is behind that door, we have to stay there. We open stacks of furniture again, just be sure nothing and no one comes through them. The bandits will surely get in if we don't figure out a way to stop them. There's a half-broken wall around the trapdoor leading to the shelter. If something heavy was to drop from there, it might be enough to knock out an invader or two, and we'll proceed. Let's get the gas mask then. It's our only option for this. Well, we did, so that's good. But we did lose the mask. That trap did nothing to stop the bandits. Maybe a different item could have done the trick here. Yeah, we lost the mask. Fortunately, it sounded like these fucks lost their flashlight and couldn't find the bunker door in the dark of night. We circled the perimeter for some time, shouting about being scanned by kindergartners, while remembering that one of them is scared of the dark and giving up. Next time we might not be so lucky. Okay then. Oh, it's the Merryman again. We don't have a lot of supplies. I think we should be good. Oh, sure enough, we got a medkit. So we had those weird people over and they were more than kind. We gave us a first aid kit and we spent a lovely afternoon together dancing and singing, then they left. Okay, Robin Hood, thanks for the medkit. Okay, let's check the source of the smell, why not? What did it get us? We got more food. Okay then. Yeah, that rat was trying to break into a can of tomato soup. Okay. Mm-hmm. Timmy has still has recovered his full mental competence, so we could get him some help somehow. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do because he's alone. We found a box outside, wrapped in what seems like 6 different kinds of wrapping paper. The note says, "Mama's making me write this. I hate you. Try not to die," or whatever. Mary Jane. Wow, Mary Jane, you're a bitch. Now I'm kinda glad you died in the one tank in the one run. I mean, what? It could be a bomb or something even worse. Should we open it to find out? Surely Mary Jane doesn't hate Timmy enough to the point she would bomb him, right? What did we get? Also, yeah, Timmy's down to the range now, unfortunately. It was a real gift, nothing toxic, radioactive explosive. What a pleasant surprise. Timmy is a bit of a crazy kid, but a few more days he will stay crazy for good. Okay, let's use the radio, why not? Nothing, nothing, and nothing. Really, nothing but the annoying static, but better luck next time. Okay, food and water for Timmy. The bandits will surely be back soon. One of the biggest advantages is that they have the numbers when they know it. What did they think we brought reinforcements? Yeah, sure, let's use the radio for that. That sounds like it would be a wonderful idea. We built a scarecrow outside using empty tube cans. Then we turned on what used to be a radio theater channel and put the volume on max. Luckily, something was still playing there. Probably an old recording set on loop. The combination of a loud radio broadcast and a few cans dangling in the wind turned out to be terrifying. As soon as they approached, the bands turned back, screaming about monsters from Mars invading the Earth with heat rays. Really? Is it a nuclear war, wasn't it not? Yeah, unfortunately, Timmy is still crazy. You'll just have to hope that these cryptids never leave. And nothing much we can do here. Unfortunate. I mean, we can, but I don't really want to get rid of the cards in case we can use it get an event to keep him sane with them. Okay. The wasteland's full of surprises, like the man on the other side of our door, knocking and claiming that he is willing to offer a lot for decent ammunition. Shall we trade? Alright. Day 18. And we got a soup can out of that. So that's good. Okay, I guess we can use... Okay, let's see now. The problem is simple. If we don't wash ourselves, we get sick. Seriously sick. It smells really bad down here and doesn't seem like it'll get any better with the next couple of days. And we do something to fix it. I guess we can use the bug spray, but it doesn't sound healthy. There's no way that's safe, right? Find have a good use for the bug spray you brought down. Probably smells better than we do, so we can use it to become a bit more presentable. Smell-wise, anyway. Okay. Yeah, don't forget this. I think we might need a medkit later on. Day 20, we only have 10 more days to go. But I don't know how long Timmy's going to last while he's deranged. Yeah. Day 20 though, so let's give him food and water. Let's hand the bandits threat to light up this dump with torches to finish the job. Since we don't have our own torches to fight fire with fire, is there anything else we can do to use it against them? Shoot, we just used the bug spray to wash ourselves. Yeah, no, that's the end of the run, unfortunately. Spent so long considering all the possibilities, we end up doing nothing at all before the bandits showed up again. And show up they did. We didn't manage to protect our home. What will Ted, Dolores, and Mary Jane say when they return? Oh no. Not good. He failed the challenge, unfortunately. Oh well. You know what, I don't have a lot of time left for another run, so, yeah, you know what? I would say you guys get to the point. This was 60 seconds of Reatomized. Well, it's honestly a real classic, really, because this game is... It came out quite some years ago, but it's still really good and fun to play even today. So yeah, if you're looking for something like if this is something that's up your alley, I can definitely recommend you check this one out. So yeah, next week we'll have to see what I'll do. I'll have to have a bit of a think about it. But considering the Mario Kart hype that's going around, maybe I'll play some Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on stream. It's been a while. And of course, on Saturday, I'll be back with the same busting out for GPA. So hopefully, you guys will look forward to that. Now get out of my house, and I'll see you all next time.